Hello and welcome to all of our Gold viewers who are here with us today. I'm Kristen Schwartz, licensed midwife and one of the MCs here at Gold. And here at Gold, we're getting ready to produce a brand new ethics package, a very important package here. And I have with me here today Dr. Aimee Grant, one of our speakers. Welcome, Aimee.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's so wonderful to have you here today. The brand new ethics package, I have to tell you, I'm really excited about. We have some great presentations in that package and yours as well. You will be speaking on reviewing the research on breastfeeding in public, challenges, solutions, and impact. Oh, I can't wait for that, I have to tell you. I want to talk about that in just a little bit. But first, before we get started, I want to learn more about you, Aimee. First of all, where in the world are you?
I'm based in South Wales in the UK, so I live in Cardiff and I work for Swansea University, which is about an hour further west.
Beautiful. So you have quite a little drive then.
I do, although we work from home quite a lot these days, which helps.
Nice. That is fantastic. So you are a senior lecturer. So tell us a little bit about your work there and your background.
Yeah, so a lot of my research is on infant feeding and pregnancy. And since I joined Swansea University in 2021, I've specialised in a range of different pregnancy and infant feeding related research. So I have research on breastfeeding in public, why breastfeeding services work well in a UK context, because the UK doesn't tend to do so well on breastfeeding, and also on autistic experiences across the life course, really, but around reproductive health.
Beautiful. I love that, the research you're involved in. I think we need more of it. And whenever I hear somebody working in research in these fields you're describing, it makes my heart so happy because I feel like it has been, and correct me if I'm wrong, but for decades and decades, this kind of field was always neglected, right? We didn't pay enough attention. And I'm feeling finally it's coming more and more to the forefront. What have you seen over the years, Aimee?
I think you're right. I think we are now getting more research. I think, traditionally more men would have had research jobs and it would have been confined more to medical doctors doing this sort of research. But these days, I think, yeah, a lot of people have gone, actually, this really impacts my own life. So I want to do some research on this, which I think it is just great for all of the parents out there to have more informed research.
Absolutely. And on infant feeding, pregnancy, and breastfeeding in public. Oh my goodness, such important topics. I want to also ask you about, you mentioned, you're working in the research on autism and the spectrum there of, the whole reproductive life. You are currently writing the Autism Friendly Guide to Pregnancy and Fourth Trimester. That sounds beautiful. Tell us more about that as well.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm autistic myself, and there's such a lack of research out there and kind of guidance that autistic people can understand in terms of their own infant feeding. So I've done a few research studies, and then I had some funding last year where I got a big group of autistic health professionals, so midwives, occupational therapists, doctors, and they recorded videos on all of the key questions that people might have. So this book is kind of a partner to that project.
Oh, beautiful. I have to learn more about that as a midwife myself. I feel like this is something I want to get my hands on eventually and learn more about it. Absolutely beautiful. And it's so needed, that research. So, definitely, we also have a midwifery conference here at Gold. We might look into that for the future to see how we can include that possibly. And now let's also talk about the presentation here at hand for our ethics package. And the title is Reviewing the Research on Breastfeeding in Public, Challenges, Solutions, and Impact. And this is really fascinating to me. So tell us a little bit more about what you will be presenting on.
Yeah, so my research on breastfeeding in public has really been a labour of love. I've pulled together all of the research from 74 different papers into a systematic review, so it's absolutely enormous. And I'll be highlighting the 6 issues that impact mums to get them to the decision of whether they're going to breastfeed in public or not, which will just give you some ideas about things you can do in your own practice to try and be a bit more supportive for mums.
Oh, beautiful. And in this massive review, you've researched all these papers, reviewed them. Was there anything that stood out to you that really surprised you, or was it mainly like, oh yeah, I expected this, is just out of curiosity here?
I mean, when I first started doing it, I didn't find any papers at all that reported on a positive experience of breastfeeding in public. And
Mm.
before we came to publish it, we refreshed the searches and we added about another 25 papers, and there was some more that talked about the positive things. But I think that that kind of early literature from about 2007 to 2018, all of that was negative. There was no one saying anything good. So it's great that we now have some more solutions included in the research rather than just the problems.
Oh, fascinating. That is wonderful. That's actually good news, right?
It is, we're moving in the right direction.
And yeah, we're moving in the right direction, but I believe there's still so much work to be done, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the next stage really is moving this on, and working with governments, so local government and central governments, to try and implement some of the things that would really make life easier.
Yeah, but it's not only governments, right? Even if there is legislation in place, and correct me again if I'm wrong in this area too, um, I feel like it's also a social issue, right? Even if there's legislation saying yes, you can breastfeed in public, at the mall, at the shopping, in the restaurant, no matter where you are, but there is still such stigma and negative reactions. So even if that is available, it's a barrier still for families, because they say, oh, they're looking at me strangely. I can stand here and say it's my right. The legislation is there, but it's so uncomfortable. I mean, we have to address that too, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I'll be taking people in my talk the whole way through the legal system, social norms, and then thinking through, the knowledge that people have and how that impacts their beliefs, and what they actually do when they see somebody breastfeeding near them, or
Yeah.
even not even particularly near, just out of the corner of their eye. Then people can have some quite extreme reactions.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's a lot of different factors involved there.
Absolutely. Well, Amy, I feel like I could chat with you for hours. This is so fascinating. Unfortunately, we just have so little time. Before I let you go, do you have any last words for our viewers? Anything you would like to share here?
I think my main point that I always make after talks like these is actually it's just about being nicer to mums. So
Mm.
stop telling mums what to do and just let them go about their business. So if somebody sees someone breastfeeding in public, treat it as though it's anybody else having a meal. Like, you wouldn't stare at a child eating some chips. So why are you staring at a baby having their lunch?
Oh, absolutely. Well said, Amy. So, well, thank you so very much for being here with me today, chatting about the wonderful work you're doing and the presentation here at Gold for the Ethics Package. It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much.
And for our viewers now, if you would like to find out more about this wonderful presentation and all the other presentations in our ethics package, we invite you to go to goldlearning.com to find out more information. Thank you, everyone, for watching here today, and have a lovely rest of your day wherever you are in the world. Bye-bye, everyone.